to Patman Garage. I figured we'd start today off a little bit different than what we normally do. We're going to start the video with a drive. So we are out enjoying the nice weather. And still warming up Fiddy, but going out for a drive, going to grab some food. And I want to talk about my plans here. So I did not end up buying Fiddy anything for her birthday, which I typically like to do last at least handful of years. Gives me an excuse to buy another mod and another excuse to work on her and play with her and all that. And just didn't happen this year. So I guess I'm gonna call this a belated birthday gift, but I bought her a new head unit, and we'll work on getting that installed here in this video. And yeah, we're gonna go out for a drive and we'll come back and get to work on the installation. So let's get started on this radio install now. So as you can see over my shoulder here, we got the JVC touchscreen radio that I ordered. And so we'll take a look at that real quick, and then we'll jump into the truck and see what the install actually looks like. All right, so here is the JVC radio I ordered. And like I said, it is a touchscreen. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It does have the ability to add a HD backup camera, which because is the high definition screen version. And yeah, we're gonna get started on figuring out the install process here. All right, so along with the install kit, I also ordered some Amazon USB extensions that have a flush face mount on them. So we'll take a look at that at some point. So that's the microphone, and then this is the looks like a connector for the radio itself, including a reverse signal. So that may be a challenge we need to overcome. We might even end up having to wire in a custom switch for that, because at the moment I don't have a reverse wires at all on this truck. This is the GPS signal antenna, owner's manual that we don't care about, and then finally the radio itself. The radio itself is a double DIN face, but it's only about a half of a thickness deep. Now, given the fact that maybe 2/3, but given the fact that we no longer use CDs, you don't have to have the full radio depth to have a CD disc player in there. So we'll get this unboxed and we'll see if this connector, if we're lucky, this connector is the same connector that the Panasonic used from many, many, many years ago. If not, then we'll wire this guy in and cut out the Panasonic one. And we'll see when we get in there. And we'll test functionality, make sure everything works before we get it too deep into the install process here. All right, so we're in Fiddy and we're going to work on pulling the radio trim out. Now this switch is something I added a long time ago. This is in place of the factory airbag switch from the non-Super Crew radio surround. This switch, when powered on, keeps the radio alive without having the ignition on. And then the off switch here, I have wired up to a hidden switch underneath the dash that would turn off the amplifier, and then the off indicator would come on. I thought that was a pretty clever use of the non-Super Crew surround without having to add a whole bunch of extra features. So we're going to pop the trim off of here, and I don't think we actually have anything wired up to it at the moment. We do have the dummy 4-wheel drive switch wiring on this side, like that, and then we're good to go. So we'll set that off to the side. And then this is the Panasonic connector, which is definitely different shape than the JVC connector. So we will need to cut and wire in some wires here to make that work. So this is the plug and play adapter for the Panasonic. I may just order another connector because I don't really have a whole lot of room to do more soldering on these. So we'll go ahead and pop this one out, and we might need to do some additional capping off on the wires for my additional switches here. All right, so I did a little bit of test fitting here, and it looks like we're going to have to do just a little bit of trimming to get the radio to actually fit in the hole here. So we're about an 1/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/4 inch, not quite a 1/4 inch tall. So I have the option of either cutting down or cutting up, or maybe a little bit of both. And I then test fitted my radio surround onto the back on here, and just kind of looked at the gap between the top and bottom, and it looks like I'd rather cut out of the bottom than cut out of the top. So we'll make a couple of strategic cuts here. We may need to remove the radio just to give us some more space in here to work, but if I can get the radio fully down, it'll look nice with this flush, basically with the radio right up against the bottom of the bottom of the radio up against the AC vents. Now, given this is I don't know what year model this came out of, I don't recall, but there are some that have a crossbar that separate the two. This one never had it. So because of that, I want to move the radio slightly down to get it to fit. All right, I got the radio, I got the AC panel completely removed. Several connections here, which kind of pain in the ass, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up having to cut this entire bridge out. But I'd really rather start with just cutting the front of it off and just seeing if that back lip will be enough. Because it would be nice to have a little bit of support on the radio, but just eyeballing it, I have the feeling we're going to have to cut everything out. Actually, matter of fact, let's do it this way. So with the radio on the up position here, yeah, I think the whole bridge is coming out. And we may even still have to do a tiny bit of trimming going upwards too. So I'll just go ahead and chop. We'll go ahead and chop the whole bridge out and see what our fitment looks like after that. No turning back now. Hey, look, it fits. Now the question is, can we get that to fit with the AC panel below it? Well, we missed it by that much. So with the radio sitting flat on the AC panel, we are just about there. Now, that being said, there is a little bit of a black lip here. So we might be able to actually install the radio first and then put the AC panel on second. And that may get us where we need to be. So I'm going to try that real quick before we cut anything else. So we're technically fitting in the hole, but we're not quite lined up with the AC control head going into the dash. So the AC still needs to come up about a 1/16 of an inch or so. I'm almost feeling like I should just cut the top of that lip off that AC control head. These are super generic. They're easy to find. And it's just plastic, man. I'm almost feeling like that's the way to go with this. Just to get them nice and tight together. I think it's going to end up with a really clean look. So I'll probably make some little score marks here and here and figure out how wide I want to cut, and then we'll make a vertical cut or horizontal cut and cut that top lip off that AC control head. All right, check this out. I went ahead and removed the entire top lip of the AC control panel, and man, I am just about there. I'm going to have to do just the slightest bit of finessing on this upper lip here. Just a little step down right here. I'm going to shave that guy off, and we should be able to get this thing installed. Now, still don't have anything wired up, but got at least the fitment rough. Man, it is real tight. I'm probably still going to have to go back and shave a little bit more off the top edge. I had to do a little bit more forcing than I wanted to do to get this lined back up, but we'll pop the, because I can't wait, I'm going to pop the AC, or the radio surround back on here, and we'll see what this looks like fitment wise. Make sure that everything looks functional here. All right, so I'm a little bit of a gap over here, which I'm not super impressed with, but considering I don't actually have a radio surround trim panel on here, I mean that's not terrible. I could probably live with that, and in fact I could probably just make some kind of filler plastic or something back there to kind of hide that a little bit better. But I do think I want to try to bring the radio forward just a touch more, so I can cover up a little bit more of this edge, or have them at least sit more flush to each other. But for initial rough fitment, I'm very happy with that. All right, so I got the radio roughed in. I still need to finish bolting it in completely. And I did a temporary wiring on it, and everything is functionally working. With at least the main speaker part, I will have to come back in here, do the FM antenna, the Bluetooth microphone, and the GPS antenna. But for the basic functionality of the power and ground and speaker, we're functioning, so that's nice. Overall fitment looks pretty good. I do have a little bit of a gap on this side and a little bit of gap on this side, but I don't have a trim ring installed. So I could maybe tighten this up a little bit with a trim ring, but I'm getting real tight here on this top corners with this rounded corner, with how far out I have the radio, because I'm trying to keep it kind of flush with the stack here. So I think I may just end up putting some sort of foam or something behind here and behind here. Might clean that up a little bit. We'll see what it looks like once I actually get the protective wrap off the front of it. But for now, I'm going to finish bolting this thing in, and I guess I'll show you what that bolting process looks like in this particular case here. All right, so since I don't have a shell bracket for the radio to slide into, what I did was drill some holes in this plastic mount of the dash, and then running a metric 5 bolt through the dash into the radio itself. So as a result, I'm actually pulling the radio casing from both sides and keeping it pinched in place that way. So overall, not the best way to do that, but it will functionally work just fine. And then we'll get the AC control panel bolted in next, and we get that line back up, and then we'll get the radio surround put back in here, at least for now. I've said for many years that I don't really even miss a radio, because Fiddy sounds awesome, and I love hearing her engine sing. But like I said, having the functionality of Android Auto would be really nice for when we do go to cruises and go to different car shows and stuff like that. To be able to navigate would be on the screen would be really nice. So we'll see what functionality we can gain from this, and of course we're not going to just set a radio in the truck. We're going to do custom Patman style as always. So I'm excited about it.